Evening, and thank you for joining. We would ask that all devices be turned off or silenced. This meeting is public, held under the Planning Act, and live streamed on the Township's YouTube page. In compliance with the Planning Act, we will collect personal information to aid decision making. When speaking, please state your name and address for the record. Your information may be included in the minutes and publicly available. If you would like to be notified about specific applications, please email the clerk or Development Services Department. Tonight's meeting is to consider public meeting reports, including staff recommendations to approve, defer, or deny applications. The planner will first present, followed by Q&A for committee members, then by members of the public. This committee will then vote on recommendations for each application. Following the committee's decision, notices will be circulated as required by the Planning Act. If a specified person or public body have the ability to appeal the decision of the committee to the Ontario Land Tribunal, you must provide either an oral or written submission before the application's provisional approval. Without such submission, the right to appeal is not granted. I will call this meeting to order at 5:01.
Ask if there's any additions or deletions to the agenda. Are there any? Ask for the approval of the agenda. Moved by Merrill, seconded by Bob. All those in favor? Carried. Any declarations of conflict of interest or general nature thereof? Are there any? Let the record show there is none. Adoption of our minutes of March the 4th, 2026. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Bob, seconded by Marilyn. Any discussion, errors, or omission arising out of those minutes? All those in favor? Carried. Minor variance application, MV 2026-0004-695, Addington Street, Wayland. You want to join us at the table, please? You want to give us a preamble, Mike?
Sure. So through you, Mr. Chair. So this application is for a minor variance to permit the construction of an approximately 89 square meter detached garage on the subject property. The new garage will be built on the location of an existing storage shed / parking structure. The application requests relief from zoning bylaw 2014-774 to permit a rear yard setback of 5 meters where 10 meters is required. The owner originally requested an additional relief for the height of the structure, but has since reevaluated his design and has determined it is not necessary. The final height of the building will now be 7 meters or less than, in compliance with the maximum permissions of the zoning bylaw. So, as part of this application, it was circulated to relevant commenting agencies and internal staff. No negative comments were received from that. I will note that Quinte Conservation provided comments after the deadline and after the report was published and the agenda published. They have been provided to committee members, and Quinte noted no concerns with the application as presented. Positive comments were received from a neighboring property owner. Staff's review of the proposal found that the minor variance did meet the 4 tests of minor variance, and as such are recommending approval, subject to the conditions listed in the staff report. Happy to answer any questions that may arise.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone have any concerns or questions?
Yeah, I just need some clarification. There's obviously enough room to build a building to meet the 10-meter setback, right? It is. I mean, I looked at the site. I know you'd have to, do some modifications of the driveway. So the clarification I'm looking for is that, and it's been sort of my feeling over the years that minor variances, we normally approve minor variances in those circumstances where it's not possible to meet the setback requirements because of constraints. So this is a sort of a completely different animal. So I'm just trying to get a feel. Am I wrong in my assumption that minor variances, we should only be applying them to, to those instances where it cannot meet the requirements? Or it's just because, Mr. Rayland, this is a better place for the building, and it does mean I don't have to do any changes to my driveway or anything like that. Just, if you could talk about that, Michael.
So through you, Mr. Chair. So generally, minor variances can be granted in situations where there is no other place to put them, put an object or something, where it's so constrained that they need a minor variance in order to do something. But that's not restrictive in the sense that they can't be given in other situations. Minor variances are to be granted in situations where the request meets the 4 tests of minor variance, being if it complies with the general intent and purpose of the official plan, if it complies with the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, if it's desirable for the proper development of the lot, and if it's minor. In this situation, even though in theory the building could be moved further out to meet the setbacks, it is still desirable to maintain the setbacks of the existing building and to not lose that extra space in the back. And given the distance is minor and is generally already being occupied by a different building, it meets that. It also, as outlined in the planning report, meets the general intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw. There is no requirement that a minor variance has to be used to develop something. It just has to meet those 4 tests. And that's what we evaluate based on.
That answer you, Teeter?
Yeah, it answers my question, yes.
Okay, I need a mover and a seconder to approve with the above conditions. Moved by Bob, second by Merrill, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? You're on your way, sir. Have a good evening.
Chief, we didn't bite.
I got a question for you before you go. Peter, your dad? Yes, yeah. Tell him I said hello. I will do. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Just before you go, just leave the sign in front. I'll pick it up tomorrow. I got to drive. Okay. Okay? Yeah, have a good one.
Deputations other than pertaining to applications. Is there any? Don't see anybody. Other business. Anybody have any other business? Yes, Mike?
So I'll just briefly touch on this. Back in March, council passed a new delegated authority bylaw. I've provided it to everyone just for your information. The bylaw doesn't change the process of delegated authority any way than how it's existed in the past. It just vests the delegated authority in the CAO instead of the manager of development services, because there's no longer a manager of development services. So since that position disappeared, we decided to change that to give it to a position that will never disappear. There will always be a CAO. All planning decisions still go through the planning department and simply go to the CAO for final approval. So there will be no changes to how delegated authority has operated in the past, but we just wanted to bring that information to the committee so you're aware of what's going on with certain consents and certificates of validation. So.
We get the tough ones.
You get the tough ones.
They get the easy ones. Anyone have anything else? Okay, guess we need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Marilyn, seconded by Bob. All those in favor? Carried.